Welcome back to the Wall Street Podcast. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a significant report. It's from Goldman Sachs, China Securities Company Limited, just released September 15th, 2025.
That's right. The title gives a good sense of it. Xiaomi's AC push to enhance industry efficiency but may impact profitability. By Midea, Xiaomi, Gree to neutral.
So it's analyzing Xiaomi shaking things up in China's air conditioning market.
Exactly. Looking at how their bigger presence impacts competition, profitability, especially for the established white goods companies.
Okay, let's set the stage. What does this market look like right now?
Well, China's split AC market is very consolidated, highly concentrated.
Meaning just a few big players?
Precisely. You've got Gree and Midea really dominating. Together, they hold about 68% of industry revenue.
68%. Wow.
And even more striking, 91% of the profits. The profit pool itself has been growing nicely, too, an 8% CAGR between 2019 and 2024. So you can see the attraction.
91% profit share. That's a tough nut to crack. How did Xiaomi approach this? They're known for disruption.
They really ramped things up, starting in 2023, a big push into the AC market.
How? What was the strategy?
Initially, very focused on entry-level products, think lower price points. In 2023, about 75% of their online sales were under 3,000 RMB.
Okay, aiming for volume.
Right. That moderated a bit in 2024, down to 66%, but it worked. Their online market share shot up from around 7% in January 2023 to 15% by December 2024.
15% online share in less than 2 years. That's fast.
Very fast. And it's key to remember this is part of their wider human X car X home ecosystem strategy. It's not just about selling an air conditioner.
It's about integrating it into their whole smart home vision.
Exactly. Capturing that whole lifestyle, as you said.
So how did the incumbents react? Midea, Hair, the others?
Well, leaders like Midea, Hair, and Habazens, they didn't just sit back. They responded.
How so?
By launching more competitive entry-level products themselves, fighting fire with fire, essentially. And that actually did moderate Xiaomi's really rapid online gains towards the end of 2024.
Interesting. What about Gree? They're a giant in this space.
Gree was noticeably less proactive, particularly on pricing and rolling out competing entry-level models quickly.
And the result?
They actually saw a slight decline in their online market share.
So the core battle here is what? Price, features.
It really boils down to overall value chain efficiency. The white goods leaders, like Midea, have immense manufacturing strength, decades of it.
Right.
Xiaomi, on the other hand, leverages its distribution efficiency, especially online, and its tech ecosystem.
So different strengths.
Yes, and both sides are actively working on their weaknesses. Xiaomi is investing in manufacturing now. Midea is working to streamline its offline distribution and logistics. It's a fascinating dynamic.
Okay, so with this increased competition, what's the overall industry outlook according to Goldman Sachs?
The expectation is that this heightened competition will actually boost overall industry efficiency. Survival of the fittest, essentially.
Making everyone leaner, more competitive.
Right, and likely further concentrating market share among those most adaptive players. But there's a flip side. Pricing pressure. Yeah. Across the board. And that could potentially lead to a reduction in the overall industry profit pool, squeezing margins for everyone.
Let's dig into that profit impact. How significant could this reduction be?
Goldman Sachs' base case actually projects a 6% decline in overall industry profits compared to 2024 levels.
6% down. That's not insignificant.
No, it's primarily driven by those pricing pressures we just talked about. The intensified competition is forcing hands.
Okay, given that pressure, how are individual companies expected to fare? Who weathers the storm best?
Midea is positioned as probably the most resilient. Goldman sees potential for even mild profit growth for them.
Why Midea specifically?
They leverage their global manufacturing advantage really well, and they're constantly improving that distribution efficiency both online and offline.
And who gets hit hardest?
Gree is forecast to see the most significant profit impact. The projections are for profit declines of maybe 9% to 15%. Between 2025 and 2027.
15%. Why are they more vulnerable?
A couple of reasons. They have a very heavy reliance on the domestic split AC market, and they currently command quite a price premium. That premium becomes harder to maintain in this environment.
Right, that becomes a liability. So for our listeners, what are the investment takeaways from Goldman Sachs here?
Well, the report keeps buy ratings on Midea, Hair, Hisense, and interestingly, Xiaomi itself, recognizing their strategic positions and resilience.
But a change for Gree?
Yes, Gree gets downgraded to neutral. The report cites demand and competition risks. although they do note its estimated 7% dividend yield for 2025 provides some valuation support.
Okay, shifting from the market dynamics to the consumer, how does all this competition affect everyday people? Affect you?
It's actually quite beneficial for consumers. You're likely to see a wider selection of AC products, especially in the mass market segment.
Better value, more competitive pricing?
Exactly. High-value options at competitive prices. Plus, it accelerates innovation, particularly around smart home integration and that whole ecosystem connectivity.
So smarter ACs that talk to your other devices.
Precisely. Imagine your AC coordinating with other smart devices in your home, maybe even controllable from your car. That future gets closer with this kind of competition.
It certainly paints a picture of a more integrated future. Which brings us to a final thought. As these smart home ecosystems become more and more intertwined, how might that change how you, the consumer, decide what to buy? Will loyalty shift from the appliance itself to the ecosystem it belongs to?